Ladies and gentlemen, viewers at home, this is developed to be an enlightenment exercise, sort of, to help us bring our products much closer to the dealerships, because we know that we've been probably grossly misunderstood in many quarters. So, right now, what we want to talk about is the true cost of maintenance. When is it that cost is really high on maintenance? When you look at our periodic maintenance, like we've drawn it down this time, I think for Corolla, we've come as low at 17,100 or thereabout. I don't think anybody can beat that. Now, some people can say that they maintain their vehicles at 14,000 naira or 15,000. But now let's do a simple analysis. A quality oil for your vehicle, whichever one, 1540 or 20W50, especially, 15W40 is more expensive than that. It could be right now minimum 2,500 per liters. And then if you use 5 liters, for instance, you are talking about 12,500. Now, let us assume that you don't even buy our own filter. Maybe you take the filters, those ones without names or whatever, or those they have given names, they could call beauty oil filter or sheriff oil filter. Take them, 2,500, isn't it? Plus 12,500, that's already 15. Okay. Now, if somebody says he is doing a periodic maintenance for you at 14,000, has he done the right thing? Is he saying the truth? Then there is something he's not doing. That is the true cost of maintenance. So don't be penny wise, pound foolish. Secondly, let us take a situation. Some people say our brake pads are expensive. Very good. And they say, oh, instead of buying this Toyota brake pad, maybe at 40,000 or whatever, let me get this one. By the time I replace 5 of it, it could cover the same distance that Toyota covers. All right, fine. You put the first one there. You can fail even with that first one on that first trip, because this is highly dependent on the attitude, the driver's attitude, and the environment through which you drive the vehicle. And when you take a risk with such less quality parts, it could fail on the first. And when it fails on the first, either through flaking or through chipping off, you will have a greater problem. I'll give you one instance. Somebody went and bought that, and he's living in a place where he has to go into water most of the time, like flooded place, and after he goes through a dry place, and he drives in the traffic for a long time where he applies the brake. And when he did that, it failed him. Why? Because the brake pad he thought could withstand the pressure of the environment was going through continuous quenching. Those who did mechanical engineering know what we call quenching. Something goes up in heat and then drop it inside the water, just the same way the blacksmiths do. You take it and you put it and you hear that sound. So and when that happens, your brake pad is bound to chip off. There is bound to be cracks. And then when it drops off, what happens? You will now have the metal part of the brake pad rubbing on your disc. And then that is when that maintenance becomes expensive, because you will now need to change the whole 4 discs. We did one for somebody a couple of days ago. When we realized that the discs were bad, it was a Lexus, a very big one. And I said, instead of anyone looking at us as being expensive, let's do one simple thing. Let's give him 3 options. And after I decided with my people here, we said, okay, let's give him 2 options. We skim the brake pad. That means we do a cutting on the surface to straighten it. And when we straighten it, we will now change the pad. And then we gave him for replacement. And that time, the man proved himself wise. The replacement, outright replacement, came to 600 and something against 100 and something, and he chose the 600 and something because he wanted to play safe that time. Because now he has realized the true cost of maintenance. That's what happens. Now look at the one of your head, for instance. We are talking about the AC cabin filter. Assuming that somebody has, let me say, he brought in something, substance or a toxin right inside the vehicle, and you are using a very bad one that doesn't actually filter that, using the activated carbon kind of filter that I talked about. So what do you think? He is going to transfer the disease. Now that is life, and life is even more expensive than whatever money you may think you are saving. So is it the 1,000 or 2,000 that you may pay extra for receiving quality service from quality technicians, quality environment, quality tools, that is higher than the risk of either getting stuck along the way or actually damaging the vehicle or incurring higher costs? So the true cost of maintenance is not that 1,000 or 2. It is the dangers of even the brake failing, maybe when some of these vehicles, transporters, are along the road, or even individuals. That is the true cost of maintenance. It is not the 1,000. It is the cost when things go wrong. I want to give us one example. I was returning to Lagos one time, or rather, relocating from Port Harcourt. When I said returning, because I was born in Lagos, grew up in Lagos and all that. So I had to go to the east, and then to me, coming back to Lagos was more like returning. So, and I was using a vehicle, those little ones that you could barely manage. But because I wasn't buoyant enough, so I was handling it myself, doing the maintenance and all that. I didn't need any technique. When you are poor, you have to do self-help, So I was maintaining it myself. So I took off with my family by 7 o'clock, passed through Choba and hit the east-west road. And before we got to Warri, we saw some 4 or 5 families. Sometimes they came out, they were using the big cars. Some of them just overtook us. You understand? And when they did, I said to my children, don't worry, one day we are going to use that type of vehicle too. So it seemed as if we were trekking while they were running. Lexus, Prado, and all that. But my own was just a small vehicle. I'm afraid to mention the brand because it's not a Toyota. So we went on with it gently, and then you will see them coming out with their children. Our children, ooh, look at these children. Hey, and they came out, they were stuck. And somebody will pick up a telephone and they're calling who? Maybe one Bayo or one Sunday or one Chukwudi to come and rescue him. A big Lexus. Then by 4 o'clock, we were at Ijebu Mushin, trying to turn towards Ibadan. By 5, we were already at Olita, safely. But if you could see how many big cars with their families that were stuck along the road, with big vehicles. Okay, I'll mention mine was a Mazda 626. Okay, good. And that was sometime in 1990-something or 8-something, 90-something, 2000. So you see, when you don't maintain, that is the sort of embarrassment you face, even your own children. And this season, this December, it will be unfortunate if anybody has watched this video or is here, and then you get your children, your family stuck somewhere, calling somebody, and that guy, he will tell you, I'm in the village. That is why we are trying to reduce this maintenance cost, because the true cost is that time when you hang your family along the road. Okay, let's take the AC for instance. Again, that is the second maintenance we are doing. What is the true cost? Look, you see, in Nigeria, a situation has added to the importance of the AC and the functions of the AC. If you don't wind up your glasses, you are exposed to danger. Is it not true? Insecurity, isn't it? Okay, so you need to wind up. That is an added function of the AC. So we are able to put up this schedule, and you come and enjoy the maintenance we are going to give you on AC. There is a film he is likely going to put on the glasses of your vehicles. When the film is put there, even if somebody comes with a hammer, surely it will not break. So, of course, you have locked yourself inside and you are safe inside, isn't it? You can drive away once that thing is not like bulletproof, but it's capable of resisting such. So, but when you lock yourself inside that place, you need your AC to work, isn't it? And when you do that, when you don't, and you have to wind down, then it simply means that you are exposing yourself to danger. That is the extra cost of your periodic maintenance.